once again, it's Danny Bardell in 51, Rich Anderson 17, Mick Goodrum 45, Dan Greer 11, Doc Farrell 35, Keith Lucas 44, Alan Reed 19, and Reggie Weller number 6. They're bunched up nicely coming out of the turn. What's it going to be? Well, it's like this. Ladies and gentlemen, after an exciting heat race here, right off the bat, another notch on 045 as he comes down to pick up the checkered flag. It's Mick Goodrum from Princeton, sponsored by Jerry's Welding and Repair, Goodrum Standard. I believe E32 is scratched. As you remember, he was smoking badly in the hot lap session. So that brings up a new car here this evening, number 1, Paul Reamer from Mendota. They help provide our record service each and every Friday night here at the Bureau County Speedway. Paul's car is sponsored by Terry's Auto Repair and Reamer Automotive. And those are the two records that come out here each and every Friday night. And there goes A1 Fire and Equipment around, checking the track, make sure there's no debris left. From Davenport, Iowa, I'd like to thank A1 Fire and Equipment for their track cleanup and fire protection. All right, on the outside, number 1 row is Brad Anderson from Princeton. He's sponsored by Depew Lake Press, Doty Implement, and Dr. W. And on the inside, another new car here this evening, car number 59, Jerry Piper from Princeton. Jerry has our welding service here each and every Friday night in case somebody needs some welding. And as you know, Jerry drove Old 45 a couple of times and he got the bug, so he's out here tonight with his fun class car. Jerry's driving a 1976 Buick V6, and that's sponsored by Jerry's Repair Shop and Bill's Muffler Radiator Shop. And on the outside, it's car number 11, Ken Johnson from Princeton, sponsored by the Bureau County Republican. And we have number 27, Keith Brown, getting into position in his 80 Chevy Monte Carlo. And right up alongside him is 27X, Keith Wittig from Bureau. He's sponsored by Steve's Machine and from McNabb, Illinois. And we have car number 22, David Shepard from Princeton, Illinois, and sponsored by Weaver's Chicken and Warren's FS. Then on the outside is car number 84, Bill Rich. Sponsored by P&P Rebuilders, K&E Auto Sales, and Action Realty. And it's another new car here this evening, 77. And that's Rick Bardo from Bradford, Illinois, sponsored by Bardo Farms, Roberts Service, Kiwani Tire and Auto, and Sieg & Company. And that's your lineup in the Fun Class E. Well, they're looking like old pros out there, the way they're bringing them around. They're lined up real good. You IMCA drivers might take a look at that. See how nicely they stay together coming out of turn 4. Here they come. And things are getting a little crowded there in the number 1 turn. Everybody's trying to find a place to go, and just more all to do. Well, it's Brad Anderson in the 17 car, your early leader, but here comes James Wittig in the 27X car, but he's starting to smoke already. And there goes Wittig down low on the inside of Anderson as they go down the back straightaway. As the car is trying to get sorted out a little bit now. Here comes Wittig down low on the inside, Anderson on the outside. Here's Chris Cross. Look out for the wall there, Brad, and he shines up the right side of his car. That's a good way to strip paint off. Here comes Keith Wittig down low, and it's Keith Brown on the outside. The pair 27 going in the other. Keith Wittig, your leader, followed by Keith Brown. And Levin, he's just cruising around out there. He's real quiet. One more time around, let's see if there's any change to be there. There's 77 Bardo going down low on the inside. See if Bardo can make any move. That's the tail end car there. And you're there. 27X, Keith Wittig. your Fun Class winner, your Fun Class C winner, car number 27X, Keith Wittig from Biro, sponsored by Steve's Machine from McNabb, Illinois. As he gets his victory photo taken by Kathy Casterison, Kathy's photo booth. Paul, car number 6, back with us this week. Rick Wages from Davenport, Iowa, sponsored by KWQC TV6 and LeClaire Standard. Another car from Davenport, number 16, Jack Luke, sponsored by Hawkeye Auto Body, Auto Runs, and Guzzo Radiators. And we have back with us this evening, car number 67, Brad Oder from Princeton, sponsored by the Hitching Post, Golden Corral, Bearing Distributor, Lily Trucking, and Mabry Auto Sales. On the outside is car number 10, Dan Brown. From Andover, sponsored by Murray's Auto Parts. That's car number 15, Stanley Vervink from Kewanee, Illinois. And Jeff Grable in the Z12 car from Princeton, sponsored by Scott Talon and Steve Grable, professional photographers. Photography by Kathy, Ray B. Trucking, First and Malden. Neighbor Motors, JC Google Race Cars, and M&A's Construction. And bring up the rear in the 01 car, Stan Parker from Kelowna, Illinois. Sponsored by Silva Snowway, Benny's Auto Body, M&M Metal, and more. And that's your field of the first heat of the IMCA Modified. Once again, it'll be Rick Wages from Davenport, Iowa, bringing him around on the pole, picking up speed. number 16, Jack Luke, pulling into the pit area. Lead in the AMCA Modified Division. On the pole, it's car number 17 from Princeton. Lawrence Cookie Russell, sponsored by Midwest Auto Parts, Sneakers Bar and Grill, Lilly Trucking, and Garland Auto Works. On the outside from Princeton also is Mel Hooper, sponsored by Hardee's, Mel's Gas, WZOE, Princeton Chamber of Commerce, and Pennzoil, and the Princeton Moose Lodge. Then it's a new car here this evening, number 20, Bill Tuckwell from Metamora, Illinois, sponsored by Bartonville Auto. On the outside, it's number 25, Marty Thompson from Mineral, sponsored by Thompson Farms, Kewanee Goodyear Center, Costin's Machine Shop, and B&J Grain. Another new car here this evening, Frank Schultes from Dixon, Illinois. On the outside, it's number 85, Leland Bichon from Kelowna, Illinois, sponsored by Maury's Used Parts and Pennzoil. And it's car number 17, all the way from Davenport, Iowa, Rick Cox, and he's sponsored by Century Pool. That's your lineup for the second heat. IMC modifiers as they pick up speed moving around the champion. Had his share of problems here at the Bureau County Speedway this year, but his luck seems to be changing as he picks up another win in in this heat race. A fine job of driving by one of Princeton's favorite drivers, Mel Roper, getting his victory picture. Taken by Kathy Costerison of Kathy's Photo Service. Here's your lineup for third heat. Car number 50, Brent Pryor from Hillsdale. Sponsored by Green Rock, Florida, American Legion. On the outside, Carl Schultz from Princeton. Sponsored by Schultz Farms. Inside second row, A12, Mike Garland from Morrison. Sponsored by Thompson Farms, Mare Oil, Jared L. Mance Chiropractic Clinic, and Garland Auto Works. That's car number 17, our rookie driver, Gary Wetzel from Princeton, in an 87 Ford T-Bird, and he's still looking for sponsors. And a new car, different, same driver, but we got Reggie Weller now driving an IMCA card in 6R from Peoria, Illinois, sponsored by Reggie's Auto Body. Reggie doing double duty here tonight, driving in the straight stock and the IMCA division now. And car number 61, Larry Durst from Creve Coeur, Illinois, and that's your field of our third heat. It's Brent Pryor, number 50, brings him around this time. Car 61, being driven by Jack. Now it's green flag this time around. It's Brent Pryor leads the pack. Here it comes. Jack Miller in a 61 car bringing up the rear. Well, Brent Pryor Pryor picks up another win here at the Bureau County Speedway as his luck begins to change a little later in the season as he gets that 50 car dialed in. Brett Pryor from Hillsdale, Illinois, sponsored by American Legion Post 1233 of Kelowna Green Rock. On the outside, car number 11, Danny Greer from Bellevue, sponsored by Chuck's Towing and Massey Auto. And it's 35, Dennis Dodge Farrell from Princeton, sponsored by Farrell Enterprises, Jerry Piper's Repair Shop, Bill's Radiator. Outside second row, car number 51, Danny Bardell from LaSalle, driving an 87 Monte Carlo. And it's 44 in the third spot, Keith Lucas from Princeton, sponsored by Nicholson Plumbing and Heating, Dan Harley Davidson, Flowers by Julia and Apps Marathon. On the outside is car number 6, Reggie Weller from East Peoria, driving a 57 Chevy, sponsored by Reggie's Auto Body. And it's car number 17, Rich Anderson from Princeton, looking for some sponsors. Car number 19, Alan Reed from Tiscawa. Car number 76, Steve Peterson from East Peoria, driving a 70 Chevelle, sponsored by K&G Truck Repair, Machinery Transport, East Peoria Cleaners, and Reggie's Auto Body. That's your lineup for the Street Stock feature event from the stoplight, Napa of Princeton. Well, here they come, being led by Mick Goodham in 45. Watch as they come around. It's Street 5. For a second, but here comes Keith Lucas, your feature one from Wild Creek, charging hard. This single file is in style. They go down the middle straightaway. Being led by Mick Goodham in 45. For that Napa trophy. Looks like Rich Anderson slowing down as he goes down the back straightaway, getting in out of that it's evidently Mick Goodrum's night. He wins his heat and he comes up and wins the feature event in that 9-year-old racing car, number 45. Another notch for a feature win. But Mick Goodrum from Princeton, sponsored by Goodrum Standard and Jerry's Welding and Repair Shop. Napa Trophy. It's car number 27X Keith Wittig from Bureau, sponsored by Steve's Machine and from McNabb, Illinois. On the outside is 84 Bill Rich from Princeton. Sponsored by P&P Rebuilders, K&E Auto Sales, and Action Realty. Car number 22, David Shepard from Princeton, sponsored by Weaver's Chicken and Warren's FS. On the outside, it's car number 27, Keith Brown from Bureau, in an 80 Chevy Monte Carlo. A new car here this evening, number 77, Rick Fardo from Bradford, sponsored by Fardo Farms, Roberts Service, Kewanee Tire and Auto, and Seek Company. On the outside, another new car here this evening, number 59, Jerry Piper from Princeton, sponsored by Jerry's Repair Shop and Bill's Radiator and Muffler Shop. Then it's car number 11, Ken Johnson from Princeton, sponsored by the Bureau County Republican. And number 17, Brad Anderson from Princeton, sponsored by Depew Lake Press, Doty Implement, and Dr. W. And bringing up the rear in another new car here this evening, Paul Raymer from Mendota, sponsored by Terry's Auto Repair and Raymer Automotive. Tangled up and waiting, trying to slow it up and get it straightened out. It's Bill Rich off to that early lead. We haven't seen much from Bill lately, but it looks like he's got a win tonight. Keith Brown doing a 360 right in front of the home stand. Well, that was a nice job of straightening that out as he comes down the front straightaway. But here's your leader, car 84, Bill Rich. Things get a little hectic back there in that number 2 spot. Things get crowded between the 77, the 27, and the 22. But it's still Bill Rich, your leader. The race right now is in the 2nd spot. It's Keith Wittig. It's Bill Rich, your leader. As they reach the halfway point, Fardo, Shepard, Raymer, Anderson, Piper and Brown, Johnson, Bill Rich in the 84 as he starts to close in on lapping traffic. That's the halfway point of this race. Smoke coming out of the back of that 22 car. Princeton. Been absent from the winner's circle a little bit. Last 2-3 races, but he got her again tonight to pick up that Napa feature trophy. On the pole, started the 3, Carl Schultz from Princeton, sponsored by Schultz Farm. On the outside is car number 10, Danny Brown. Sponsored by Maury's Auto Parts. There's car number 50, Brent Pryor from Hillsdale, sponsored by Greenlawn Kelowna American Legion. On the outside is Jack Blue, the car number 16 from Davenport, Iowa, sponsored by Hawkeye Auto Body, Auto Runs, and Gummo Radiators. Number 85, Leo Baton, sponsored by Morris Parker and Penwell. On the outside is 25, Marty Thompson from Middle, sponsored by Thompson Farms, Kewanee Video Center. Jeff Grable from Princeton, sponsored by Scott Tennell and Steve Grable. Sponsored by Midwest Auto Parts, Sneakers Bar and Grill, Lily Trucking, Garland Auto Works. Car number 81, Mel Hooper from Princeton, and the Hardy Special. Mel Gas, WCOE, Princeton Chamber of Commerce, Ken's Oil, and Princeton Moose Lodge. Car 67, Brad Oder from Princeton, the Hitching Post, Golden Corral, Bearing Distributors, Will Trucking and Neighbor Auto Sales. Car number 17C, Rick Scott, from Davenport, Iowa, sponsored by Centric Pool. Car 61, Jack Miller from Green Corps. Number 15, Stanley Rivink from Kewanee, Illinois. Number 20, Bill Tuckwell from Metamora, sponsored by Bartonville Auto. The lights are out and they're bunching up nicely as they come into the 3 and 4 turns. It's Flagman, Doug Heck, lifting in a 7 laps completed of this 20-lap event. Jack Lewis, car 16, your leader. Bring him around as they pick up speed. Here they come. Bunch up nicely down the back straightaway. Starting to pick up speed now. Watch them as they come out of turn 4. had a photo finish, I think, on that third spot. Well, here he is, racing fans, your IMCA modified feature winner, about to pick up the NAMA trophy. Here this evening, continuing his winning ways, Chris Fire from Hillsdale, Illinois, sponsored by American Legion, Below the Green Rock, and Johan's Bus Service. Rebels from Magnolia, Illinois, driving a 1973 Malibu, sponsored by Jack Standard of McNabb, Illinois. On the outside, car number M7, Jeff. M7 did not show up for the lineup. 17X, a new car here this evening, elected to run in the rear, to start in the rear. So that brings Keith Lucas in car number 44 from Princeton. Sponsored by Nicholson Plumbing and Heating, Dance Harley Davidson, and flowers by Julia and Haps Marathon. On the outside is car number 19, Alan Reed from Tuscarawas. Car number 6, Reggie Weller from East Peoria, 57 Chevy, sponsored by Reggie's Auto Body. Car 45, Nick Gooder from Princeton. And here we come. As we head down the back straightaway, Steve Lucas in car number 44 taking the early lead. But it's Rebels, Reed, and Gooder battling it out for the number 2 spot as we come out of the number 4 turn. Charging hard in that number 2 spot. It's Gooder going after Lucas as they come out of turns 3 and 4. Lucas getting sideways going in the 4th. Gooder in old 45 high on the outside as they go down the back straightaway. It's Reed and Weller battling down to the number 2 spot. Tim Rebels in the 17X bringing up the rear. Here comes Nick Gooder charging hard high on the outside as Lucas tries to hold him off coming out of turn number 4. As he tries to close the gap on Keith Lucas in the number 44 car. Straightaway. It's Mick Goodham in the 45 car coming around for the white flag. Keep an eye on these two as they go for white flag. Number 45. Pagels going for that lead spot on that final lap. Occurred on the final lap. In a spin out, the cars involved go to the back of the pack. It was the final lap. So that makes car number 19, Alan Reed, your official winner in this first heat. The official order was 19, 6, 45, and 44. This is your Bellevue, sponsored by Chuck's Towing and Massey Auto. On the outside, car number 8, Victor Cottingham from Peoria. A 1980 Chevy Monte Carlo, sponsored by Killers Exterminating and River City Realty. On the inside, second row is car number 35, Dennis Doc Farrell from Princeton, sponsored by Farrell Enterprises, Jerry Piper's Repair Shop, and Bill's Radiator. On the outside, it's number 10, Roger Rebels from Sparland, sponsored by Chuck's Towing and Massey Auto. Bringing up the rear is Rich Anderson from Princeton in car number 17. That is your lineup for the second street stock heat. Keep your eye on them, and here they go. It's Danny Good in number 11 car. As he goes off to the early lead, but here comes Victor Cottingham in the number 8 car. Farrell in 35, nosing into second spot. Victor Cottingham third, Roger Rebels fourth. It's Danny Guerrero leader in the number 11 car. Dennis for second. It tightens up as they go down the back straightaway. Greer's your leader. Rebels and Farrell and Cottingham as they come out of third place. Anything can happen. Watch them as they come out of turns 3 and 4. Rebels your leader. It's Rebels with the big lead. Greer second, Cottingham third, and Farrell fourth. It's still Roger Rebels, the number 10 car, your leader. Going for the white flag. Taking over third. Here he comes for the checkered flag in that red number 10 car. So here he comes, racing fans, your winner of the second heat of the street stock division, Roger Reynolds from Sparland, Illinois, sponsored by Chuck's Towing and Massey Auto. All right, this brings up our first heat in the front class division. Car number 11, Ken Johnson from Princeton, sponsored by the Bureau County Republican. Then it's car number 27, Keith Wittig from Bureau in an 80 Chevy Monte Carlo. Car number 84, Bill Rich from Princeton, P&P Rebuilders, Candy Auto Sales, and Action Realty. Car number 28, Doc Lashbrook. Car number 22, David Shepard from Princeton by Warren's, FS, and Weaver's Chicken. Car number 27X, Keith Wittig, Steve's Machine, McNabb, Illinois, and the front class division. And it's car number 27, Keith Brown, as he comes out of the number 1 lane. Number 27 going a little further as he comes down the front straightaway. A little bit of handling problem. Brown in the 27 car. Here comes Doc Westbrook as he comes down this missing the wall going down the front straightaway. Keith Wittig in the 27X, David Shepard in the 22 car. Johnson and Rich battling it out there. Doc Lashbrook is little 28 car, a little third cylinder out there trying to compete with these big cars. As he goes down low on the inside, the driver of the 28 car is the fellow that prepares this track each and every week, so he should know the track better than anybody. Here's your leader, Keith Brown in the 27 car. Keith Wittig in the 27X car. Two more laps to go as your leader comes around. 27 car, blue 27. Keith Wittig in the 27X getting a little squirrely as he comes out of 4, having some handling problems. Oh, hang on to her, Doc. Keith Brown gets into lapping traffic as he comes around, heading down that last and final lap. A lot of these fellows in these cars, this is their first year of driving. These cars don't handle like the leaders want. Keith Brown in car number 27, your winner in the first fun class event. And the last two find the checkered flag. There he is, your winner, car number 27, Keith Brown from Bureau, Illinois. Class division on the pole, car number 17, Brad Anderson from Princeton, sponsored by DQ Lake Press, Jody Implement, and Dr. W. On the outside, car number 71, Lauren Boyd from Dixon, sponsored by Dixon 8 TV. And another new car here this evening, number USA 1, Dan Sherfay from Dixon, Illinois, 76 Monte Carlo, sponsored by Dixon Motors. On the outside, it's E32 Donovan Lodge from Moline, Illinois, sponsored by Maury's Used Auto Body. And it's car number 77, Rick Bardo from Bradford, sponsored by Bardo Farms, Robert Service, Mountain Tire and Auto Company. Here's Piper in car number 59 for Christmas, sponsored by Jerry's Repair Shop, and it's 1976 Buick D6. And it's Brad Anderson off to the early lead in the 17 car. Working his way up through the pack. Jerry Piper's 59 car sporting a brand new paint job this week as he comes out. This is Jerry's first year of driving. Donovan Lodge getting high on the inside as he goes into the number 4 turn. And Donovan Lodge gets shut out as he tries to make his way up through the pack. And it's Brad Anderson getting very squirrely over there in the number 3 corner. Can't get her straightened out as the field starts gaining on him. Something happened to his car or what. So we have a new leader, Lauren Boyd, in the black 71 car. Lawrence from Dixon. Then that other brand new car, USA number 1. Dan Sherfay from Dixon, number 2 spot. Well, car 71, Lauren Boyd from Dixon, the black car, your leader. Dan Sherfay trying to hang on to second as Donovan Lodge gets finally on top. It's still 71, Lauren Boyd is 20 to lead. Dan Sherfay trying to hold on to second as Donovan Lodge in the 32 car tries to make his move going into turns 3 and 4 on the outside. Watch him as they come around, see if he can do it. Donovan Lodge pressing on, coming out of turn 4. So it's Lauren Boyd in the 71 car coming around for the checkered flag. Dan Sherfay second, Donovan Lodge third. Then Brad Anderson rounding out the finish in the second heat of the fun class. Attention in the grandstand, Bill Graves. Bill Graves, you are to go to the secretary's office. Your mother is looking for you. Bill Graves, go to the secretary's office, please. Well, there's your winner in the second heat of the fun class division, Lauren Boyd from Dixon, Illinois, sponsored by Dixon ATV. All right, this brings up our first heat of the IMCA Modifieds. On the pole, car number 16, Jack Luke from Davenport, Iowa. Sponsored by Hawkeye Auto Body, Auto Rods, and Guzzle Radiators. Car number 61, Jack Miller from Creve Coeur, Illinois. Car number 3, Tom Schultz from Princeton. Car number 25 on the outside, Marty Thompson from Mineral, sponsored by Thompson Farms, Kewanee Goodyear Center, Thompson's Machine Shop, and B&J Grain. Car number 15, Stanley Vervink from Kewanee. Car number 50, Brent Pryor from Hillsdale, sponsored by Green Rock Kelowna and American Legion. Car number 50D, Roger DeLapp, sponsored by Country Companies and Yoridge Standard. Car number 67, Brad Oder, sponsored by the Hitching Post, Golden Corral, Bearing Distributors, Lilly Trucking, and Mabry Auto Sales. Car number 9D, Bernie Henley, for Princeton, sponsored by Green Construction, Nelson Drug, Merson Molding. Looking very nice now. Let's see how they handle it coming out of four. Pushing hard as he goes into the number 3 turn. Here's Carl Schultz going after Jack Williams. Here's Brent Pryor and Stanley Vervink touching as they head into number 2. Here's Carl Schultz pulling up with some kind of a mechanical problem as he goes off the track. Bring her in. So just look to the big lead, but he's being pursued now. As he chases after the leaders, it's number 16, your official leader. number 25, Marty Thompson. Was that a race, fans, or was that a race? That was quite a finish. Right team Warren Cookie Wetzel from Princeton, sponsored by Midwest Auto Parts, Sneakers Bar and Grill, Lilly Trucking, Garland Auto Works. Car number 85, Leo Michon from Kelowna, Illinois, sponsored by Moore's Used Parts and Pennzoil. Car number 61X, Frank Sophie's from Dixon, Illinois. Car number 6R, Reggie Weller from Peoria, sponsored by Reggie's Auto Body. Car number 15X, Alan May from Elmwood, Illinois, sponsored by JC Newbill Race Cars. Car number 18, Gary Wetzel from Princeton, the son of Cookie Wetzel, the 17 car. Car number 24, Mark Beatty from Lamoille, sponsored by GPM Enterprises, Dr. Bernal, Bear Oil, Cougar Enterprises, and Green Trucking. That is your lineup. The red flag. Here they come around. It's car number 85, your leader. Hanging right in there. And here comes Rick Cox, the 17C, the white car that you can't hardly see the number on. He's taking in the first lane. Brings him around. Cookie Wetzel hanging in there for second. And Gary Wetzel bringing up the rear. Comes racing fans picking up the checkered flag in the second heat IMCA modified division. Leo Michon from Kelowna, Illinois, sponsored by Moore's Used Parts and Pennzoil. In the IMCA modified division. On the pole, car number 41, Tom Jensen from Verona. On the outside, it's 01, Stan Parker from Kelowna, sponsored by Silver Snowway, Denny's Auto Body, and M&M Metal and More. Car number 10, Danny Brown from Andover, Maurice Auto Parts. Car number 81, right here from Princeton, Mel Hooper, sponsored by Hardee's, Mel's Gas, WZOE, Princeton Chamber of Commerce, Pennzoil, and the Princeton Moose Lodge. And it's car number 21, Carl Beatty from Lamoille, sponsored by Mayor Oil Cougar Industries and Audubon Leasing. Car number 57, car, bringing out the red. Stan Parker bringing them around. Picking up speed, watching them bring them around. Bunch up nicely now going into turn 3. Stan Parker will bring them around. We hope they all stay in position to come around ready to take the inside. bringing up the rear. Stan Parker in the 01 car, fighting off a hard challenge by car number 21, Carl Beatty. 27, Tom Hamburg from Dixon, sponsored by Terry Dosey James Seat Company, Rock Falls, Napa of Dixon, MS Performance and Fabrication in Dixon. Car number 61 from Creve Coeur, Illinois, Jack Miller. Car number 15X, Alan May for Elmwood, Illinois, sponsored by J.C. Dubois Race Cars. Car number 20, Bill Cutwell from Metamora, Illinois, sponsored by Bartonville Auto. Car number 9D, Bernie Headley from Princeton, sponsored by Green Construction, Nelson Drug, Works of Malden Albert Plumbing and Heating, and the new Imperial Restaurant in Princeton. Car number 18, Gary Russell from Princeton. Car number 75, Jim Brocup from Peru, sponsored by Woodcock Brothers Towing. Car number 15, Stanley Worthing from Milwaukee. Car number 61X, Frank Schultes from Dixon. Car number 41, I believe, well, he's there. Car number 41, Tom Jensen from Winona. Car number 3, Kyle Schultz from Princeton, sponsored by Schultz Farms. And car number 24, Mark Beatty from Lamoille, sponsored by GTM Enterprises, Dr. Bernal, Fair Oil Company, Cooper Industries, and Green Trucking. That is your lineup in the IMCA semi-feature event. Attention to the pit, street stock drivers, let's line them up, please. We want to beat the weather. Street stock drivers, get in place, please. Jeff Miller from Creve Coeur in a 61 car. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, your semi-feature winner, Tom Hamburg, running for the Princeton Farms trophy this evening. All the following cars on the pole. Number 6, Reggie Weller from East Australia in a 57 Chevy, sponsored by Reggie's Auto Body. The winner of the 50-50 drawing was Hap Lucas of Princeton. And Hap Lucas has graciously donated the winnings back to the wall. We have the fund to cut down the wall in front of the grandstand. So a very generous gesture from Mr. Hap Lucas, the winner of the 50-50 drawing, $191. Okay, once again, car number 11, Dan Greer from Bellevue, sponsored by Chuck's Touring and Massey Auto. Car number 44, Keith Lucas from Princeton. Nicholson Plumbing and Heating, Dan Charlie Davidson, Flowers by Julia. Car number 8, Victor Cottingham from Peoria, sponsored by Killers Exterminating, River City Realty, driving a 1980 Chevy Monte Carlo. Car number 45, Mick Goodrum from Princeton and Goodrum Standard and Jerry's Repair. Car number 45 is on its 9th racing season here at the Carroll County Speedway. That is the only original car that started 9 years ago with this Speedway. Car number 10, Roger Rebels from Sparland, sponsored by Chuck's Touring and Massey Auto. Car number 35, Dennis Doc Farrell from Princeton, sponsored by Farrell Enterprises, Jerry Piper's Repair Shop, and Bill's Radiator. Car number 19, Alan Reed from Tuscarawas. Car number 17X, Tim Rebels from Magnolia, Illinois. A 73 Chevy Malibu, sponsored by Jack Standard and from McNabb, Illinois. And then car number 17, Rich Anderson from Princeton. And number M7, Jeff Mowry from Rock Island, Illinois. Well, we'd like to welcome our new fans here this evening, fans that we haven't had before. We hope that you're enjoying the program thus far. We got a lot of racing action to go.
Hey, it's been 2 weeks.
It's been a long 2 weeks since we've raced, so we're all enjoying it. All right, here we come. Reggie Weller. Been running very well here the last couple of weeks at the Speedway. Here he comes. Kimball is 44. Bring him around. Keep your eye on them as they come out of turn number 4. For the street stock division. Here they come. There's a lost an engine going right. That's not what your wife says, Doug. Here it comes. Yes, sir. Bring it on. And it's as he tries to go high on the outside and get around Bill. It's one more time around and see if he can do it. It's going to be a foul. We're down out of turn number 3. Doesn't look like 40 slash is quite better if he really gets those down. Good run. Here's your winner, feature winner in the street stock division, picking up the Princeton Farms Incorporated trophy, Dennis Doc Farrell from Princeton. Right, in the fun class on the pole, car number 11, Ken Johnson from Princeton, sponsored by the Bureau County Republican. On the outside, row 1, car number 71, Lauren Boyd from Dixon, sponsored by Dixon ATV. That is car number 27, Keith Brown from Bureau, in a 1980 Chevy Monte Carlo. On the outside, it's car number 84, Bill Rich from Princeton, sponsored by P&P Rebuilders, K&E Auto Sales, and Action Realty. And in the back of the third row, inside, it's car number 27, Keith Whitting from Bureau, sponsored by Steve's Machine from McNabb, Illinois. On the outside, it's E32, Donovan Lodge from Moline, Illinois, sponsored by Maury's Used Auto Body. And it's car number 77, Rick Bardo, Bradford, sponsored by Bardo Farms. Robert Service, Kewanee Tire and Auto, and Seat Company. And it's USA 1. Dan Sherfay from Dixon, Illinois, in a 76 Monte Carlo, sponsored by Dixon Motors. Car number 22, David Shepard from Princeton, Illinois, sponsored by Weaver's Churches and Warren's FS. And it's car number 59, Jerry Piper from Princeton, sponsored by Jerry's Repair Shop. Driving a 1976 Buick V6 with a brand new paint job this week. And bringing us the rear in his little four-banger, number 28, Doc Lashbrook. So keep your eye on them now as they bunch up nicely. Coming into turn 3, waiting to pick up the green flag. Picking up speed, here they come.
12
laps is in. 12 laps feature is green flag. See if they all get through the number 1 turn. Well, so far, so good. It's Donovan Lodge in the 32 car, moving around on the outside, taking the early lead. But here comes Bill Rich in the 84 car. Okay, car number 11, Ken Johnson bringing them around. And green flag. Right down the finish here, they're having a break to avoid him. They got it all straightened around. Comes Keith Brown in the 27 car high on the outside. He's cruising around there. He's going after it. Brown in the 27 car, he's picked up a couple of feature wins here in the fun class. There goes Doc Lashbrook. He was up and over the bank a little bit. Here's your leader, car number 27, Keith Brown. Rick Bardo third. Keith Whitting fourth, and Donovan Lodge fifth. Car number 71 pulling up Lauren Boyd, pulling in with some trouble. And Bill Rich and Ken Johnson tangling the number 1 corner. As Ken Johnson goes up against the wall. There are two dead vehicles on the track, car 71, Lauren Boyd. Ken Johnson, the 11 car, bringing out the red flag. Okay, looking good this time around. Keith Brown, the 27 car, brings them around, looking good, and it's green flag. Here we go. outside racing as they go into turn number 2. It's Donovan Lodge in the 32 car. Here comes Keith Brown in the 27. It's Brown and Wittig. Trying to wheel his way through the crowd. And it's Lodge and Brown side by side as they come out of turn number 3, and it's Brown retaking the lead. Here they go, 3 abreast going down the back straightaway. Folks, watch them as they come out of turn 3 and 4. Anything can happen. They're going for that lead. Here they go. Donovan Lodge trying to group up to the front. Each one wants that front position. Car number 22, David Shepard. Okay, here we go. 3 laps to go. It'll be a sprint. And it's green flag time. Tries to get by Brown, they're side by side as they go into the back straightaway. It's Wittig and Brown. Let's see who takes it. Here comes Donovan Lodge high on the outside in the 32 car. Is anybody free? It's Speedway, but here comes Donovan Lodge on the outside, charging hard. They're neck and neck coming down out of turn number 4. Watch them as they come around. Coming down the front straightaway is Donovan Lodge. Jersey's ready to come back, join the back of the field. Charging hard in the 84 car. Watch it as these 3 cars go for the marbles. It could be anybody's race. It won't be known till the checkered flag falls. Here they come, folks. It's Rich on the outside. Lodge pushing hard on the inside. One more time. Let's see what happens. Here comes Rich charging high on the outside. Lodge pushing up on the outside, trying to go high. Taking care of Rich. Here they come for the checkered flag. Who's it gonna be? Yes, Brown. Wittig in the 27X. And Donovan Lodge with a left front tire and a 32 car. Well, it was a real rock'em sock'em finish. It took a while to get there, but it was exciting nonetheless. Well, here he comes, your feature winner, picking up the Princeton Farms Incorporated feature trophy, Keith Wittig from Bureau, Illinois, sponsored by Steve's Machine, McNabb, Illinois, and the Rocket in Bureau. On the pole is car number 50, Brent Pryor from Hillsdale, sponsored by Greenhouse One, American Legion. On the outside is Marty Thompson in car number 25, sponsored by Thompson Farms. P1 Kazoo Center, Thompson's Machine Shop, and B&J Grain. That's car number 81, Mel Hooper from Princeton, sponsored by Hardee's, Mel's Gas, WCOE, Princeton Chamber of Commerce, Pennzoil, and the Princeton News Lodge. And that's car number Z12, Jeff Grable from Malden, sponsored by Scott Talon Photography, Steve Grable Photography, photography by Kathy, Raby Trucking, Faber Motors, J.C. Duval Race Cars, Knotty Pine Resort, Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, Orion's Incorporated, quality used cars, day cruisers, and vans. Number 10, Dan Brown, sponsored by Maury's Auto Parts. Car number 67, Brad Odom from Princeton, sponsored by the History Post, presented to Fair Auto Princeton, American Rivers, Lily Trucking, and Mabry Auto Sales. That is car number 15, Chad Bush from Gadsden, Iowa, sponsored by Rafael Auto Reviews. That is car number 21. Carl Beatty from Lamoille, sponsored by Mare Oil, Cougar Industries, and Montavon Leasing. The red flag is up. The green flag this time around. Red flag. Standing after and Danny Brown in third. Once again, they're going for the Princeton Farms Incorporated trophy and $300 to win. They'll be pushing it to the limit as they come around this time. Brian. There comes Danny Brown on the outside side. They go down into turn 3. drag. Going wide as he comes out of turn 3. Here comes Brad Order. Marty Thompson in a 25 car your leader. Rick Cox, Brad Oder, and Jeff Grable. Jeff Grable in the Z12 car trying to punch the running road. Going high and going low where he has to go to try and make up the road. The laps are running out. It was a long drawn out affair, but it was nonetheless a shootout at the wire.